Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk a little bit about Republicans starting to realize something that we have talked about on this channel for quite some time and starting to vocalize that opinion in public. And it's about the former president, it's about Trump. Recently, Senator Cassidy, who is a Republican from Louisiana, he's a Republican senator from Louisiana. He has been an office-holding Republican since like 2006. He's been in the Senate since 2015. He was asked if he believed Trump should drop out of the Republican primaries, if he should stop seeking the nomination. And he said, I think so. And then he went on to talk about how he believed that, well, if you look at the polls, Biden will beat him. He said, I'm a Republican. I think any Republican on that stage in Milwaukee will do a better job than Joe Biden. And so I want one of them to win. If former President Trump ends up getting the nomination but cannot win a general, that means we'll have 4 more years, And he goes on to talk about the documents case, about the willful retention stuff. And he said, he described it as, quote, almost a slam dunk. Cassidy seems to be of the opinion that it is very likely that Trump win the primary and then get convicted and then lose the general. Because even setting aside current polling, it doesn't seem that Cassidy would expect the average American voter to vote for Trump if he was convicted of this. It seems as though Republicans are starting to not just realize, but vocalize the fact that, well, that idea that Republicans can't win a primary without Trump, but can't win a general with him, that applies to Trump himself. And it seems that he is very concerned that that's how it's going to play out. It is worth noting that Cassidy is not and has never been part of like the MAGA faction of the Republican Party. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he voted to convict during the second impeachment. So I think for a lot of people, a lot of Republicans, they're going to write this off. They're just going to be like, oh, he's a rhino, and not pay attention to it. But I think pretty much everybody else should, because the reality is you have a Republican in office who isn't political opposition to the former president. Cassidy's not seeking the nomination, and he is now openly calling for Trump to drop out of the race. And he is putting forth a pretty sound argument as to why. I don't think he's going to be the last Republican to do this. They are starting to realize that Trump's ability to energize a base is dwindling. And that base, it has to be energized or they're not going to have a chance. I think at this point, there are probably a lot of people who believe that Trump is more of an asset to the Democratic Party than to the Republican one. Because while Trump may not have the pull to energize Republicans, if he's running, he will certainly energize Democratic voters to show up and vote against him. There have been others who have called for this. Cassidy's a little different because he's not political opposition. He'll probably be written off right now, but there will be more and more Republicans coming forward and saying that they don't think this is a good idea, especially as Trump's legal entanglements get more tangled. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.